Yeah, so we've made a quad over here, and sometimes quads have a tendency to drift a little. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a swallowtail to it to help compensate for that. Now, the idea behind a swallowtail is that the deeper you go with a swallowtail, as you push down on your back foot, water comes up through the V and actually grabs onto the back of the board, and it gives you an extra bit of hold. The shallower that swallowtail, when you push down, it displaces water and it gives you a bit more drive. So you've got to figure out from the swallowtail what you want. A deep one, which gives you more hold off the bottom, or a shallow one, which will give you a bit more squirt through the flat sections. So today we're going to go for a slightly deeper one, just to give the quad a bit more stability off the bottom turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure about 2.5 inches up, and I like to round my swallowtails off a little bit, so I grab the same tail template that we made earlier. I get a marking, flip it over to the other side, and I take it from point to point. So when you're cutting the swallowtail out, by holding your saw vertical, you're able to get more of the curve in. If you hold your saw flat, you're unable to bend it around the curve, so always try to work with your saw nice and straight. If you find your saw sometimes sticking, you can always take Surfboard wax and wax it, and it'll slide through the foam a little bit easier as well. Okay, so once you've cut it out, you want to get your hard block with about an 80 grit, and once again you're going to be cutting straight down, nice and vertical at 90 degrees. With the swallowtail, at the moment it's got a straight down cut off tail. So if I put pressure on that, water will come up and actually bounce back and not really give you as much hold as it could. If I bevel that around, when I push down, the water will easily be able to come up and sort of grab on the back of the tail and give you a bit more hold in the bottom turn. So what we're going to do next is just first bevel the wood, and then we'll bevel the foam afterwards, get a nice tapered finish on that tail. For beveling the tail, you want to work on a real small stringer, so the Shaper's Round Surform is a great tool for getting into that really small, tight to work surface. What I like to do is just to get a little old piece of stringer and just slide it in, so you've got a bit more of a surface area to hold on. And you always work up the board, so from the tail, keep rolling it up. So I've got my little angle, my taper there that I want the water to grab onto. So next I like to give myself some guidelines to work towards. So from that bevel, I tape it up to the corner of the board, and I'll do the same on the other side. And the more guidelines I have when I'm shaping, the more accurate the work's going to come out. Next I want to follow that bevel, so I grab my Surform and start to push it up. So that's my rough work on the one side, and I repeat the rough work on the other side. So once the rough work's done with the blades, we'll switch across to a sanding block. So I get my hard edge first, my hard block. And switch it close to a softer block. I'll go across to my screens. And then lastly I'll go across to a very fine gauze for the finishing touch. When you're happy that there's no straight edges on it and it's beveled nice and round, you can pull the tape off. And yep, there's your swallowtail.